hello, and welcome back to Bulldog Basketball on athletics.hancockcollege.edu. You're just tuning in. The men took the first game over Cuesta. Now it's the women's turn. Talked about how the first game of this contest was a bit of a coaching duel, and it really turned out to be one, as schematically, the Bulldogs were able to take away the shooting lanes for the Cougars. That allowed the Bulldogs to really take over using their larger players and rebounding abilities. Today, going to be a similar situation. Once again, Coach Blair. You might be saying, Stephen, are your notes mixed up? No. Casey Blair this time, the head coach for the women of Cuesta, is going to be taking over. He's only in his second season as a head coach, as he took over after being an assistant for his father, Rusty Blair. He moved over to the women's side as head coach in place of Rodney Barba, who retired just before the pandemic. That was the year that the signups were not high enough to keep the program going. So Rodney Barba took off. In comes Casey Blair, led the team to a 3-2 record in the abbreviated season last year, and now this year he's off to a pretty good start. The women now at 11-9, 4-3 in conference. Meanwhile, for the Hancock women, they're 11-10, 3-3 in conference, with someone that's been a head coach for quite a while. He's in his 9th season. Head coach Kerry Norelli has been a Central Coast fixture for decades. He was most notably the head coach at Morro Bay High School, where he led that team to many playoff championships and did quite well. And it's kind of interesting to look across because the assistant coach on the bench for Casey Blair is Lena De La Cruz, a former Morro Bay MVP and standout, was All-League 3 times during her time with the Pirates. She's finishing up her degree from Sac State and is looking to be a coach herself. Meanwhile, for Kerry Norelli, Northern Santa Barbara County Roundtable Hall of Fame. He's a Hall of Fame at Morro Bay. He's probably going to be a Hall of Fame anywhere he goes because he's one of the most congenial and charismatic coaches out there. Real big contrast to Coach I with his coaching styles, as where Coach I is fiery and trying to get his team fired up around him. Coach Norelli is a very much more demure man who will sit and talk things out. Lets his players go out and do what they need to do. Similarly, he has some contrast in how he deploys his personnel. Where Coach I likes to rotate players quite frequently, which is common in the men's game, Coach Norelli usually keeps the same 5 on the floor, which is going to end up being a problem tonight, as looking at warm-ups, you might be looking and wondering if there's something wrong with the stream, and it's not packet loss, it's Paquette loss, as I see neither Alexandria nor Elijah on the court today. So we're going to see what the starting lineup looks like, as Coach Norelli is going to have to adjust to that change. For Coach Blair, he might have to adjust his style here a little bit. Normally, Cuesta is the type of team that's going to try and shoot and kind of take long possessions and try and make sure that they control the shooting pace and the rebounding. They have one of the top rebounders in the state. Haley Abel ranks 7th in all players in rebounds per game. She's averaging 12.6 rebounds per game and will likely be a heavy feature for the Cuesta women tonight. Cuesta ranks 8th in the state in defensive points per game. They only allow 51.8. It's going to be a challenge for the Bulldogs, who normally only score 62.0, ranking 44th in the state. So you take that into consideration, and really Cuesta is going to have to find a way to slow down Hancock, and specifically J.C. Bain, who's one of the top scorers per game in the state. She's one of the top minute getters as well, which goes hand in hand. You look at what J.C. Bain's capable of. She averages almost 18 points per game at 17.8. And Arroyo Grande high product, 4.6 rebounds per game, 4.8 assists. She is quite the force when she gets the ball in her hand. That said, it's going to be a different sort of game because you're going to be missing out players due to COVID protocol, injury, all sorts of things. And this is how it goes late in the season. This is where great coaches make great moves. So how is that going to affect Coach Norelli tonight? Well, we've seen other players step up in the past when J.C. Bain's been injured, when Elijah and Alex have been unavailable. So I expect players such as Kayla Taylor to step up tonight. Lompoc native from Lompoc High, averages 11 points per game. Julia Manis, another player that could see a lot of playing time tonight that will really be highlighted with the absence of the players around her. She averages 10.7 points per game. She comes from Porterville, 9.7 rebounds. This is not a team that is lacking for talent nor toughness, which is really the trademark of a Norelli team. These are players that rally no matter what the situation is, and this is a year that has thrown a lot of curveballs. You know, you talk about what it takes to be an athlete at the community college level. Some of these women are working full-time, being students full-time, and being basketball athletes full-time with only so many hours in the day. Kayla Taylor, I've been told, wakes up to go to work at 5 a.m. She works from 5 to 1, then comes and does basketball practice, then goes home and does her classes. An insane schedule, but they make it work. Will they make it work on the court tonight? Can't wait to find out. In the meantime, we're going to turn it over to Herb Adams, the anthem singer, for our game. We'll be right back. We hope you enjoy the song that he will sing us.
Oops, there we go. Feel free to join in with me. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome back to Bulldog Basketball on athletics.hancockcollege.edu. So I'm getting the starting lineups. Of course, Julia Carney and Olivia Missler, two of the highlighted players for this game. Julia Carney averages 12.9 points per game. Olivia Missler, 12 points per game herself. You look at what this team has done through conference play. Lost to Santa Barbara City College, beat Oxnard, beat L.A. Pierce, lost to Moore Park, lost to Ventura, then beat Oxnard and Santa Barbara City College. Well, you got two games that have kind of flip-flopped results there. And you say, well, why did they beat Santa Barbara City College 62-47 just a few days ago, and then lost to Santa Barbara City College at the start of January, 40-65? Two not very close results, and a major part of that was Julia Carney. She came to life in the last game. Meanwhile, really struggled in her game against Santa Barbara City College in early January. So I expect Julia Carney to be a major part of this game here tonight. We're going to see how it manifests. Like I said, for the Bulldogs, they're going to be probably juggling personnel a little bit more than you might expect for a Norelli team, but going to do the best with what they have available, which is always the game when you're playing COVID protocols, all of that sort of stuff, you know, in any level of the game. You know, that's the question. How are you going to react when something doesn't go right? As it is across the thing. It's just a question for the coach as opposed to the player this time. Jessica Early drawing into the lineup, as well as Clarissa Solorio, two normal off-the-bench players taking the spot of Alex and Elijah Paquette. It's going to be Kayla Taylor taking the tip-off against Haley Abel. As I said, Haley Abel, the San Miguel native, went to Paso Robles High School. She's going to be a major part of this game for the Cougars. they're able to out-rebound the Bulldogs, they'll definitely give them the possession advantage that they will likely need. This one's going to be shot up by Carney, and she makes the three-pointer 9 seconds into this game, and the Cougars coming out of the gates hot. Beat J.C. Bain crossing half court. She's going to find Manis. Julia Manis coming around the arch, looking for a place to drive. Couldn't find it, but she feeds Taylor. Taylor finds Solorio, and that's 2 points the other way, and immediately we're going to get a quick whistle as a Cougar is down. She's walking it off, though. She's doing all right for herself. That looks like it is Haley Abel, so that is a tough place to get banged up early in a game. Leading rebounder, one of the top in the state, and right now being slowed down a little bit by the ankle. We'll see if she can just walk it off. As it's going to be Carney around the top of the arch. She already made that first three. She's looking to follow it up. Instead, she's going to find Abel. Abel drives the lane, gets blocked by Kayla Taylor. The Brave stood strong, knocked that ball away. It'll be J.C. Bain over to Manis. Manis going to find early. Back to Manis. This will be Solorio in the corner. Over to Early. This is going to be Manis off the rim. Gets her own rebound, puts it back up, and then off the rim again. Stanko going to go back the other way. Pass another Paso native. Bearcat coming into the zone. Passes it off to Missler. Missler around the key. Going to try and lay it up. Not going to have the chance. Gets hit as she goes up. Looks like it's going to be Solorio taking the first foul here. Onto the line goes Olivia Missler. Missler, a Mission Prep grad, shoots 75% from the free throw line. And that first one's good. Missler, an interesting situation. She grew up in Atascadero and went over the grade to go to Mission Prep every day. So you talk about the leaders on this team. Well, you know, you got two people really familiar with downtown SLO. Carney, a San Luis Obispo High School graduate, and Missler, a Mission Prep grad. So Slowtown showdown no more. They got to work together. J.C. Bain now. Got to find Manis. Manis, cross court. Dangerous pass, but made its way there. Going to be Bain driving and then passing it off to Manis. Manis tries to get to the post, gets turned away. It's going to be Kayla Taylor up top, and there's going to be a whistle. 3-second violation, but the ball's going to stay with the Bulldogs. They're putting 3 seconds on the shot clock for some reason. I think they're saying the clock didn't start because there's 28 seconds on the shot clock. I don't think it's a 3-second violation. I think they were saying instead, hey, you didn't start the clock, reset it with this amount of time on it. So it's going to be Jaden Young inbounding. Tulare native, went to Mission Oak High School, but she passes it off. Dribbling across the center court, it's going to be Stanko. Stanko over to Missler. Missler was repelled there by Bain. I think that's going to be a matchup we're going to be seeing a lot of tonight, as it's going to be Stanko putting it up. It's off the rim and into the hands of J.C. Bain. This is going to be Solorio driving near the post, puts it up behind her. She got a little contact and wiping her nose. Hopefully no blood. This is going to be a foul on Julia Carney. First foul on the team, first foul on the player. And indeed, a little bit of blood. And this is going to bring Cheo out to take a look at. Unfortunately, unlike hockey, you don't get a double minor out of this. No extra free throws going on. So instead, we'll take this moment and give our sponsors a little bit of extra credit for keeping us in the game. It's going to be thank you to California Electric Supply for keeping athletics at Hancock College possible. On the court now for the Bulldogs is Krista Anderson. She's going to make the free throw in place of the temporarily wounded Solorio. Not often you're going to see this shooter subbed in for mid-shot. That's what happened there. This could be Stanko. Driving near the bottom of the key, gets the shot up off the rim, and it's going to be picked up by Abel. Abel gets it over to Missler, who sinks the shot. Cougars lead 8-3, 7:18 left in the first. Bain gets it over to Manis. Manis to Taylor. Taylor keeping an eye on the key. Can't find any room, though. Manis makes the drive, gets the shot up. It is a long jumper. This is going to stay possession Bulldogs as it went off of a Cougar. Looked like it was Julia Carney down there in the paint that had the last touch. She's a little miffed about it, too. I don't think she thought that went off her. Bain to Taylor. Taylor gets it to Manis. Manis, I tell you what, Manis is one of those players that's really impressive to watch off the ball because she never stops moving her feet. As it's going to be Bain getting up a layup and then getting hit in the back of the head, and this is going to be a foul on the Cougars. Can't do that. Jane Young taking that foul. So J.C. Bain on the line. As we said, Aurora Grande native, 8th in minutes, 29th in free throw percent in the state among all players. Makes the first one. J.C. shoots at 71%. Missler higher up in that ranking, but at 71%, you'll take it. And she'll take her second one here. This is Jaden Young inbounding. Stanko gives it off to Missler. Missler over to Carney. Carney going to drive the line, but get repelled. Abel at the top of the key, going to have to roll it out to Stanko. Stanko has a chance to shoot, doesn't take it. Instead gives it back to Abel, who drives the post, gets the shot up, and it's off the rim and back into the hands of Kayla Taylor. Abel versus Taylor. I tell you what, that's going to be probably the matchup that tells this game. As it's going to be Manis up off the rim. An awkward shot, but almost sank. And it's going the other way. As it's Stanko giving it off to Abel. Abel's going to find Carney. Carney looking for Missler, but going to end up taking it herself and then finds Stanko. Stanko with a long two. She'll sink it, but it's only two. Just had those toes on the wrong side of the black, and that'll take a point off the board, but they're probably all right as they're doubled up on the Bulldogs right now. Cougars lead by 5. Manis passes it over to Kayla Taylor. Bounce back off to Krista Anderson. Anderson misses the net, but Manis gets the rebound. Unfortunately, it's inbounded to Stanko. Janelle Stanko has it. Taylor gets behind her, knocks it out cleanly, but unfortunately, cleanly out of bounds. Remains Cougar ball. On the inbound, it's Jaden Young. Young looking for Missler, not going to find her, so instead it goes to Janelle Stanko. Been the primary ball mover so far in this game. Normally averages just a handful of points, but a very effective playmaker. Missler gets it down to Abel. Abel loses it. Clean steal by Kayla Taylor. Once again, this one will go in the stat books, though. Manis has the ball. Going to try and drive the wing. Nothing there. Gets it back to J.C. Bain at the top. Ball goes to Jessica Early. And then Kayla Taylor looking for Manis. Just couldn't wrangle it in, and that's going to go out of bounds. Cougar ball. Timeout Bulldogs. 30-second timeout. Right now, Cougars lead 10-5. We're going to take a quick break with them. Quick thank you, though, to Cool Hand Lukes. Thank you for making athletics at Hancock College possible. You're watching Bulldog Basketball on athletics.hancockcollege.edu. Welcome back to Bulldog Basketball on athletics.hancockcollege.edu. Women's turn now as the men won earlier today against Cuesta. Now we're on the second part of that doubleheader where the women show what they've got. This is Janelle Stanko, the point guard for Cuesta. And there looks like it'll be an off-the-ball foul against Jessica Early. Her first personal, second team foul. So Early getting caught off the ball with a little bit of a moving block situation from the looks of it. And J.C. Bain fighting for that ball. She gets it off of Janelle Stanko. Bain's got a clear line to the basket, and she gets it up, but not cleanly. So it's going to bounce back out. Possession's going to stay with the Bulldogs, though, as Julian Manis gets the rebound. She goes up off the ball, rim, went off the rim, caught her own rebound, then got the foul. Foul's going to be reported on Olivia Missler. Mission Prep acting very unroyally right there. And it's going to be Haley Abel heading off the court right now, bringing in Meadow Engel, Paso Robles native, Paso High. So another Bearcat coming in for a Bearcat is it's going to be Julia Manis taking the free throws. Makes the first one. She's not a bad shooter herself. She makes about 70% of them. So yeah, a nice 69% for her free throw percentage. And she makes them both. Now re-entering the game, Clarissa Slorio for Krista Anderson. Sorry, Clarissa Slorio for Krista Anderson. Moving fast here, it's Jane Young inbounding it to Janelle Stanko. Got the double screen set up at the top of the key. She makes a move and recycles it back out to Engel. Engel giving it to Carney. Carney looking for a lane. Not able to find an easy one, but does find Engel in the paint. Right up by the post, little underhand roll, and that'll count for two. Cougars lead now, 12-7. Coming across the court, it's J.C. Bain. Normally in the main shooter for the Bulldogs, but being put into a playmaker role due to the absence of some players today. And there's going to be a foul reported on the Cougars. Looks like on number 13, going to be Jaden Young, her second personal already here early in the game. So they'll be keeping an eye on her, and they're in fact going to take her out of this game. Entering looked like Sam Watanabe from Arroyo Grande High School. She averages 5.1 points per game, but 2.3 rebounds. So really an important role player in the paint. Manis from just inside the three-point line gets it up, and it's going to be recycled. Good rebound there by Solorio. Jessica Early with it now. Loses her dribble and gets it turned over. Misler picks up the steal. She's going to be looking for some help here. She gets it over to Carney. Carney dishes it back out. Misler driving the lane, puts it up, and that will count, sink that basket, and it's going to be a foul. Looks like it'd be against Jessica Early. Indeed it will be. Jessica Early's second foul, also getting into trouble here early. We're 3:46 in the first quarter. And she was shooting 1 and 1. I thought she was shooting 2 on the shot, but no, just 1 and 1. JC Baines got it. She's going to be looking for some help. In fact, she's got it with Manis. Manis has been everywhere in the front court this game. She gets it back out to the top to Jessica Early. And off the rim, rebounded by Engel, and then contested, and it's going to stay Cougar ball. Not sure if Engel had possession long enough for her to count that as her own rebound, but that's a job for the statisticians to decide, and I'm not one of them tonight, so I don't got to worry about it. Stanko going to be going around the key, putting this one up, and Manis had a chance, but ends up playing it out to Solorio. Solorio gets it to Bain. Bain puts it up from near the three-point line. It's off the back of the iron and into the hands of a Bulldog, but down on the ground. Looked like Janelle Stanko may have interfered with the cylinder there for Jessica Early. And that's the 15th foul, so the Bulldogs will be in the double bonus. It'll be a 30-second timeout, though. We're going to take a quick moment to thank our sponsors, Home Motors of Chevrolet. Thank you for making Bulldog Athletics possible. You're watching Bulldog Basketball on athletics.hancockcollege.edu. We'll be right back. Welcome back to athletics.hancockcollege.edu. I'm Stephen Hodges. You're watching Bulldog Basketball. Right now, Jessica Early taking 2 shots off the foul committed by Janelle Stanko. Bulldogs in need of these points. They're doubled up on right now as the Cougars lead 14-7. Now make it 14-8 as she makes her first one early. Not a renowned free throw shooter, but definitely not one to slouch on either. She makes 62% of them. This one bounces in and back out. And Slorio had the hand on it, but they're going to say there was a violation of some variety there. And that'll take it out right off the board. Cuesta Anderson subbing back in. She's coming in for Slorio, who I think they're going to take another look, make sure she's, oh no, she's just getting a rest. She did have that nose banged into earlier, so wouldn't be a bad idea to take a double check and make sure that she's not bleeding, as that can slow down your team quite a bit. Stanko gets it over to Carney. There's going to be an offensive foul reported here. It's going to be on Janelle Stanko. That's her second. Manis inbounds to J.C. Bain. J.C. Bain, once again, someone that I expect to be part of the heavy shooting game. She accounts for the most points on the team. It's going to be Krista Anderson putting this one up. And Kayla Taylor had it, lost it into the hands of Stanko. Stanko doing a fantastic job here, both ends of the court. And Carney puts it up off the rim. And Kayla Taylor picking this one up. Kayla Taylor, a major rebounding presence for the Bulldogs. Very important to get those possessions back. They got that Lompoc native down there. Man, it's over to Bain. Bain puts it up from beyond the three-point arc, and it'll count. Accurate from distance right there, and some beautiful cross-court passes. Those are really dangerous because you're trying to go across the entire formation, but a lot of the defense had their backs to the play, allowed Bain to get that ball and just pull the trigger. Makes it a three-point game. Suddenly, with only a one-possession game, you see some more urgency from the Cougars. As it's going to be Missler up and in. Royal gets another 2 points. Julia Manis dishes it down to Anderson. Going to be Taylor dishing it out to Bain. Bain thinks about shooting, thinks again. Crosses up and then looks to drive. She's going to find her way to the post. Gets up a shot, but trips her way in there and going to draw a foul instead. This one's going to be on Sam Watanabe, her first personal. And so it'll send J.C. Bain back to the line. And as I said, one of the best free throw shooters in the state. Something that's really nice to have when you get into physical rivalries like Cuesta and Hancock always seem to have. You got someone that can put free throws away, you'll be fine with them driving into the lane like that. First one's good for Bain. Bain looking for her second. That one will sink as well. 2 for 2 there, 2 for 2 earlier. Makes her a total of 4 for 4 so far on the night. 90 ticks left on it for the first quarter as the Cougars look to put away the first quarter with the lead. This Missler almost stepped out of bounds, and it's going to be turned over. Going to go into the books as a J.C. Bain steal, but it's Jessica Early forcing that to happen. As the Hancock men back out to support their team. Janelle Stanko takes another foul there, and it's going to put J.C. Bain back to the line. Now entering the game, Mackenzie Emmons from Fortuna, California. So if you hear a song in the background, it might be O Fortuna as she enters in. J.C. Bain misses her first free throw on her 5th attempt. So overall, you'll probably take that, but hurts a little bit as that could have made it a closer one-possession game than it is now. Still 3 points. And this one will also go out. So all or nothing for Bain so far on the free throw line. As the ball is now in the hands of Mackenzie Emmons, who just entered the game. She dishes it out to Carney. Carney off the near side of the rim. It's going to bounce out to Sam Watanabe. Watanabe looking for some help. She finds it with Missler. Missler back over to Carney. Carney driving, not finding the room. That's going to be turned over. Emmons lost it, and it's in the hands of J.C. Bain again. J.C. Bain has had a rough ride here at Hancock, has been injured quite a number of times. Her first injury was a broken nose. So when people ask who she is, well, no one asks until she put on the mask. As the first one off the rim, put back up by Krista Anderson, gets those 2 points, making it a 1-point game with 37 seconds left. Bulldogs really making this competitive. Emmons passed it over, and now it's going to be down in the paint to Engel. Engel throws her elbows around, finds some room, but can't get the clear shot away from Anderson, excuse me. And Bain has it once again. She's going to take her time crossing to the front court as Norelli barking out his orders. Harry Norelli, head coach of Hancock College for some time now, and really doing his best to try and get this in here, and this is going to be an offensive foul. They're assessing this one on Cuesta Anderson. So Bulldogs got to be a little frustrated. Had a chance to end the first quarter with the lead. Instead, it looks like Cuesta is going to try and increase the spread a little bit. This one floated by Misler and ends up coming up short. But Bulldogs making it extremely competitive. 15-16 the score. Cougars ahead of the Bulldogs. With this break, we'll be right back. You're watching Bulldog basketball on athletics.hancockcollege.edu. Welcome back to Bulldog basketball on athletics.hancockcollege.edu. We're in for an exciting one here tonight as it has been back and forth here. Cuesta came out to an early lead, but quickly diminished away by the increasing efforts of the Bulldog women. Currently, it stands at a 1-point lead for the Cougars, but Bulldogs have possession to start the second quarter. It's going to be J.C. Bain looking to push, but Jessica Early getting the chance. She's going to look at the rim, look back down, gets it to Manis. Manis not afraid to fire it from the corner, and this one's going to go the way of the Bulldogs. Carney with the rebound and a foul. So Bulldogs getting into some early trouble here. Fouls on number 24, Jessica Early, Barstow native. Same city that Coach Kim Ensing did her coaching in back then. She always likes to remind everyone when she was a community college coach, did at Barstow Community College, and she indeed won a game with only 4 players on the court. As it's going to be Misler driving the lane and getting a chance at the rebound and takes down Kayla Taylor. You can't do that. Going to be a foul on Misler. She's throwing her arms around. She got to be careful with that. That'll get you a second look from a referee. Out of the game comes Jessica Early. Into the game, just missed it. It is indeed Francesca Palacios. Manis finds Palacios. Back to Manis. Like I said, Manis does a lot of action off ball, but here she's been kind of planted on one of the wings. And Francesca Palacios up and in. Just entered the game and got herself some points. Making an impact early in her time on the court. It's what you got to do when you come off the bench. As it's going to be the Cougars back into the forecourt. The star, Julia Carney, dishing it out. She finds Emmons. Back to Carney. Carney under the net and fired up by Watanabe. Picked up by Engel off the rim, and it's going to go the other way. This is Cuesta Anderson picking it up. Kayla Taylor now, or J.C. Bain off of Kayla Taylor picking it up. J.C. Bain gets it over Cuesta Anderson, who sinks the three. We talked about without the Pequettes, what was going to happen today? Who was going to step up and make things happen? It's been a myriad of answers as the menagerie of Bulldogs coming together for a late performance here. Late first quarter into the second quarter has been role players. People we don't see a lot of minutes from, making big moments happen. So it's going to be a foul on Cuesta Anderson here. Her second personal, second team foul. Both of them have been assessed on Anderson here in the second quarter. Now exiting the game for the Cougars is going to be Meadow Engel. And it's going to be Abel coming back on the court, something I don't think the Bulldogs are going to be too happy to see. It's going to be Kayla Taylor coming off for Slorio here as she can get a breather. So that battle is going to be between Abel and Slorio now likely. And down on the ground is Carney, and she was covered up by J.C. Bain, but luckily Carney able to get that one out. And up goes Misler. But it turns out to be a little bit of a fistler, and the ball's coming back here. Cuesta going to keep possession, though. They're going to say this is a foul on Manis. Julia Manis taking her first foul of the game. Game getting physical here. We saw this start to happen in the men's game and then it back off. We'll see if this pressure and this physicality continues throughout. The ball's inbounded and goes to Abel. Abel going to toss it off to Emmons. Emmons to Carney, who's going to turn it around and give it back to Emmons. Missler now. Going to jump for the long two off the rim and retrieved by Anderson, who's making a huge splash here in this game. It's going to be Manis having a lane to drive, but backs back off. Anderson for three! Off the back of the rim. Looked good at first, though. Getting some nice form off that three-point shooting technique. Driving in. It's going to be Carney who draws the foul off. Looks like Solorio going to be charged here. So to the line goes Julia Carney. Shoots 65% from the line, so not one of the players you want to send there. Kayla Taylor coming back in for Clarissa Solorio. Taylor may not be the biggest center that the Bulldogs have had. We've definitely had some well over 6 foot as Julia Carney makes the first one. Grace Rosa is probably one of the ones that comes first to mind, a former Bearcat as well. She did a fantastic job here. Kayla Taylor, I'd say her rebounding prowess is up there with the taller players despite being only 5'11". It's going to be J.C. Bain crossing half court here. Goes to Julia Manish just inside the three-point line in the corner. Off the rim, and it's going to go the other way. Mackenzie Emmons with the rebound. And rebound steal kept in by Krista Anderson. And then Kayla Taylor picks up the loose ball, draws a foul. I tell you what, if I'm suiting up for this one, I'm making sure that I get some things covered up. It's going to get some swipes going each way. Make sure you're all padded up because it's physical down there, and it's only going to get more physical as this game goes on. J.C. Bain with the ball crossing half court. Looking for some help. You're going to find Julia Manis. On the opposite side of the court from where she's been lining up, it's going to go for Francesca Palacios. Palacios gets stopped at the elbow, bumps back out to Bain, Bain to Manis. Manis driving the lane, puts up the long jumper. This one's good. Bulldogs lead 22-18, 6:44 left in the second quarter. Now Missler with a long shot and picked up by Bain. J.C. Bain taking her time to cross half court, really letting things set up. It's a theme that we saw in the first game as well, where the Cougars are content to play that half zone defense. They're not going full court press, and really it cost them in the first game. Here in the second game, I think the Bulldogs are happy to have that extra time as well, so they may have to switch earlier than the men. Will the son learn from the sins of the father? There's another foul's coming in here. This is going to be against Julia Carney, her second personal for the Tiger. Kayla Taylor inbounds it to J.C. Bain inbounds it to Kayla Taylor, rather. And then Bain in the corner. This one's up and good. It's impressive to watch J.C. Bain shoot the ball. You give her the space like that, it sinks almost every time. And Missler puts one up. She's going to respond. Why not have a little three-point shooting contest? Cross River rivalry, let's do this. This could be J.C. Bain crossing half court, finding Palacios. Palacios back to Kayla Taylor, who's going to dish it off to Manis. Manis looking for some room, not going to find it. She's looking for help now instead, and it's going to be Palacios down under, and a big block by Abel. Abel, that big presence for the Cougars. You talk about using your size to the most of it. Well, look at this. Abel, just a ball magnet. Talk about using your height, all of that. She's only 5'9", and she plays like she's so much bigger. Very physical player. She draws a foul there. This one going to be charged against Julia Manis, I believe. Second personal foul, and Abel just forcing that play. I will say, though, she's been disqualified from 4 games due to her physical play. So I think as long as things are going where she's taking more fouls, Coach Blair will be happy to keep her out there. But if Abel ends up on the wrong side of it, he's going to keep an eye on that hook because Abel has a propensity for being DQ'd due to personal fouls. As it's going to be J.C. Bain crossing midcourt. As she has been all night, and she finds Palacios. Palacios had Taylor in the paint, but opted instead to go to Manis. Manis dishes it out to J.C. Bain. Bain going to be driving that lane, getting it up in the key, and it drops. No question about that one. The Rainmaker hard at work tonight. J.C. Bain puts in another and gets the and one. She's been at the line a few times tonight. She's either made them both or missed them both. Now with only one, that has to be the case. And there's going to be a timeout here charged to the Cougars, I believe. So we're going to take a second. Thank our sponsors, Oxford Suites, with locations in Oregon, Washington, California, and Idaho. It's not just Santa Maria that you can find in Oxford Suites. So check them out. In the meantime, we'll be right back. You're watching Bulldog Basketball on athletics.hancockcollege.edu. Welcome back to Bulldog Basketball. I'm Stephen Hodges. We're coming to you from the line of Sunshine, Strawberries, and Tri-Tip. That is Santa Maria, California. We're in Joe White Memorial Gymnasium on the campus of Allen Hancock College. Right now, the Bulldogs find themselves up 27-22 against their proximity rival, the Cuesta College Cougars. J.C. Baines on the line to shoot her and one after making a layup drop while being fouled. Not the easiest way to make a layup in my experience. Makes it. Bain continuing her reign of terror from the charity strip. It's going to be crossing over the line is Mackenzie Emmons. Going to dish it off to Sam Watanabe as the Cougars had some subs during that timeout. Emmons is going to find Abel. Abel dishes it back out to Watanabe, who makes it drain from the corner. Three-pointer, beautiful shot too. Watanabe, also an Arroyo Grande product, just like J.C. Bain. And it's going to be Abel fighting for this one. And it's going to be a jump ball. Look at the players on this team for Cuesta. All freshmen and three products of Paso Robles High School. Three different Bearcats, those Mountain League champs just a couple years ago, making a big showing here for the Cougars. Of course, North County always plays physical, so it doesn't matter the sport. Seeing it here on display. A long shot from Mackenzie Emmons. One of the few non-local players on this Cuesta roster. It's J.C. Bain making something happen, moving it to Francesca Palacios. Over to Krista Anderson. Going to get J.C. Bain, who had a shot, then immediately was collapsed upon by Emmons. And it's going to be Manis finding Krista Anderson. She dishes it back off to Bain, who's got that shot again. Doesn't take it, but she does drive the baseline, gets something up off the rim, resets the shot clock. Kayla Taylor's got it. Krista Anderson. Palacios from a long two. Kayla Taylor had it, lost it to Abel. Abel now on top of it. And it's going to be a jump ball. Possession's going to stay with the Bulldogs. So Abel had it and lost it in the jump ball situation. Even though Taylor never really got a hand on it, it's going to be Bulldog basketball. And they're going to have a quick discussion. And it's going to stay here. Manis with the inbound. And it's going to go to Taylor, or Bain. Bain puts it up and loses it to Sam Watanabe. Watanabe's going to give it to Missler, and the full court press is on for the Bulldogs. Missler having to dribble it the whole way. Tried to put it up, got blocked by Kayla Taylor. And this one's going to be recycled back out. Sam Watanabe from distance. Off the back of the rim. And then touched by Watanabe on its way out. Bulldog ball. The Dogs are doing quite well in this game. Made a real battle of it despite a slow start, and now it's tied 28-28. 3:20 left in the second quarter. J.C. Bain, like I said, normally a heavy shooter. Right now, just facilitating play, moving the ball around, finding the open lanes for other people. Julia Manis from distance. Off the rim, it's going to be Bain. She recycles it back in, but it goes right to Watanabe. Jump ball, Cougar ball. And really, the Bulldogs could get upset about that. However, that would seem to be pretty clear possession for Watanabe, and this will give them the possession arrow back. So, Cougars inbound it. It's going to be Emmons carrying it across half court. Likely looking for Missler over on that right side. Instead, she's going to come to the left side. She has help with Watanabe. In the center is Carney. Carney by the post. Stopped by Palacios, but they're going to say there's a foul. Some contact on the rise, and so this will send Julia Carney to the line. A strong free throw shooter, 65%. And once again, the leading scorer on this team. Really heartbeat when it comes to the offense. The first one's going to go. She averages nearly 13 points per game and rebounds over 4 rebounds per game. Second one's going to go. Now we're going to get a sub. One of the stranger differences between the men and women's game is the way the sub window works. You can't come in midway through the shot. So Mary Jo Rodriguez from Delano, California, Cesar E. Chavez High School, going to be entering in. And J.C. Bain going to back her way in and then dish it off to Manis. Manis by the elbow, going to set up Krista Anderson, who dishes it back to Bain. Bain looking to penetrate but can't find the play, so she gives it off to Palacios again. Back to Bain. Bain drives the lane, dishes it to Manis. Manis along the baseline, gets it up but turns it over. It's going to go to Mary Jo Rodriguez. Crossing half court, it's Emmons. Emmons looking for some help, and it's going to be Rodriguez up at the top of the zone. Here in the front court, going to dish it down. She's got Abel. Abel to Emmons. Emmons drives, gives it back off. This is going to be a layup that's going to sink for Sam Watanabe. Watanabe doing quite well tonight. Normally she struggles in the shooting department, shoots around 32% from the field, but here's J.C. Bain going up, draws the foul off Haley Abel. And that's going to be a 2-point shot. Bain has been to the line quite a bit tonight. This is going to be her 6th and 7th shot, I believe. Check on that. Indeed, J.C. Bain, 5 for 7 from the free throw line so far. So this is actually going to be their 8th and 9th shot, and we're only in the first half of action. Quick sub for the Cougars, and this is going to allow Bain to shoot. First one's good. Her 2 misses came back to back. So if you believe in that juju, she's in pretty good chance for this second one. This one sinks as well. Makes it a 1-score game, 32-30. As Cuesta has a narrow lead, just as they had going into the start of the second quarter. So really been back and forth here, but Cuesta's never fully lost control. It's going to be Sam Watanabe dishing it off to Mackenzie Emmons. Emmons directing traffic, going to cross the court entirely and set Watanabe up at the top of the zone. She's going to get it with 7 seconds left on the clock, and this is going to be a long shot for Emmons, and it's just off the rim, but resets the shot clock. Up went Rodriguez. Rodriguez gets her own rebound. She's going to try and return to the post. Kayla Taylor all over. Shot still goes up off the rim, and it's going to be Manis up with the rebound. Going back the other way now, it's J.C. Bain. Only a minute left to play in this half. Now the question, do you want to rush this shot a little bit to get yourself a possession back, or do you want to eat up as much clock as possible? Bulldogs taking their time. It's going to be J.C. Bain from the wing. Off the rim, going to reset that shot clock. Manis from the elbow. Going to reset the shot clock again, but no points, and that's what they need. Jump ball, just as I prophesied, getting that possession back from that rebound that they clearly lost earlier. Pivotal right now. 41 seconds left. Full shot clock for the Bulldogs. They can take their time here. Manis finds Bain. Going to dribble it out of the corner. Take a long jumper in and out of that rim. It's going to be Engel with the rebound. And Emmons crosses half court just ahead of the shot clock. 29 on the game clock, 20 on the shot clock. Gets it to Carney. Carney takes the long 2. This one will count. Oh, they're going to count that as a 3. That yellow line has not been the official line for women in quite some time. New courts on the way to Hancock College as well, by the way. J.C. Bain drives the lane, gets it out to Manis. Manis with her toes on the line. This one will sink, and they'll give that 3 as well. Why not? Goes both ways, and Bulldogs thankful for that, as it is 35-32, one-score game going into the second half. We'll have some halftime stats for you halfway through here. In the meantime, I'm Stephen Hodges. This is Bulldog Basketball and Athletics on HancockCollege.edu. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Bulldog Basketball on athletics.hancockcollege.edu. I'm Stephen Hodges, here to break down some halftime stats with you. You really talk about the differences in this game, and it really is the difference in this game because it's only a 3-point game, and a lot of that comes down to shooting, as it does in just about every basketball game. Right now, the field goals are slightly in favor of Cuesta, 11 of 31 for 35.5%. Meanwhile, the Bulldogs, 9 of 33, 27.3%. But a major difference in that is the accuracy from range. 6 of 13 for the Cougars, actually doing better from distance than they are on average. 46.2% to be clear. Meanwhile, the Bulldogs, 3 of 11 from range, 27.3%. Bulldogs making good on those foul promises, though. Doing well from the free throw line, 11 of 16. A lot of that coming from J.C. Bain, really getting her money's worth from taking those fouls on the drive she's been taking. Rebound differential, favor Bulldogs, 26 to 18. However, when it comes to just about everything else, I mean, it's really even right now. I mean, the fouls 13 to 11 Cuesta, so slightly more physical play from Cuesta, but really coming down to the shooting. That's why the Cougars are ahead right now. 1 3-pointer goes in for the Bulldogs, tie game, but haven't been quite sinking. Let's take a look at some individual stats. For the Cuesta, leader right now, Olivia Missler. The Atascadero native, Mission Prep grad, leads with 12 points, 1 rebound, no assists. Julia Carney has been part of the action from start to finish. So far, 10 points with 2 assists. As far as rebounding goes, you got 3 tied for the leader, and that's with 3 rebounds apiece. That's going to be Sam Watanabe, Meadow Ingle, and Haley Abel. One of the top rebounders in the state is Abel, so got some company tonight for that lead. For the Bulldogs, a little bit shorter bench than the Cougars have, and they're making the most of it. Again, dealing with some Paquette loss. And J.C. Bain has started off strong. 15 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. Definitely leading the team in a lot of ways, largely from that 3-point line or that free throw line where she's 7 from 9. Julia Manis, second highest scorer for the Bulldogs, currently sitting at 6 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. However, she's in a little bit of trouble, has 2 fouls of her own. Look at who she's sharing that rebound lead with. First of all, J.C. Bain. Second of all, it's Krista Anderson. Normally an off-the-bench player, making a push to really be a feature player here in this game. She's got 6 points, but 5 rebounds. She nailed that 3 earlier in the game as well. Granted, only 1 for 3 from long range. Meanwhile, we talked about how strong the Cougars have been from range. Really, it's just been 2 players, Missler and Carney, making that happen, which makes sense. They're the leading scorers for the team all year long. Julia Carney does well. The Cougars do well as well. So we'll take a quick break once again. We hope you stay tuned. This is Bulldogs basketball on athletics.hancockcollege.edu. We'll be back with the second half of action. Welcome back to Bulldog Basketball. My name's Stephen Hodges. Just going to break down a little bit of scheduling changes, as we've had quite a bit of them since, this is how to make it spicy this year, 'cause this is the 20 Serpentine. Keep everyone on their toes. We have games on Mondays now, which is obvious because today's Monday, but we've got games that we're acting as fill-in games going forward. So next game for the women at home is going to be a dark stream. We're not going to have any internet streaming, so if you want to see it, you'll want to be here in the building. Currently, the game has been moved up. It's a Valentine's Day special happening at 6 p.m. So if you want to see it, you got to be here in the building. There will be no live stream of video. There will be live stream of stats. In fact, I probably will be doing the stats myself. But if you want to see the Bulldogs back in action, your next opportunity at home will be Valentine's Day at 6 p.m. It'll be just a women's game. Then that following Friday, we're going to have LA Pierce in the building for a doubleheader. Then after that, the women have a game against Oxnard on the 21st, and the men have a game against Ventura on the 25th. And that'll do it for the home contests. If you want to catch the Bulldogs on the road, you always have that option as well. The men are going to be back on the road to Cuesta in a couple days, playing on Wednesday. Same with the women. Then they're all going down to Santa Barbara on the 12th, which is Saturday. You can go catch those. So some nearby games if you want to catch the Bulldogs on the road. Got those options. Be sure to check out the requirements to get into those games. Some of them require vaccination. Some of them aren't having crowds at all. So know before you go. Google what the college wants you to do before you show up. We want to be respectful fans of how each county is handling its own building, its own crowds, all of that. Is it fun? No, but it'll be a fun memory to look back on and tell your kids about someday. In the meantime, we got one to tell your kids about right now. Go wake them up. It's 35-32 going into the second half of play. Cougars lead, but it's been back and forth. One shot here or there could be the difference, and so this is one of those games. You got to keep an eye on what's going on with the players. Wrong positioning off court, something like that could be the difference. It's going to be an all-five effort going forward. And I love what I'm seeing from Julia Carney and Olivia Missler on their side. J.C. Bain's doing a fantastic job. And I tell you what, Krista Anderson also doing very well for herself for the Bulldogs despite having limited minutes. So it's going to be that same question from the start of the game. What are the role players going to do for the Bulldogs to fill in for the Paquette sisters missing? You hate to just say, oh, well, you're a role player. This is your opportunity. This is your application to make it full-time. I'd love to see what can happen here. For Cuesta, they've got to find a way to make the most of their possessions. They've lost some offensive fouls. They're doing a good job rebounding on the defensive zone. But they've got to find ways to get those shots more accurate. 32 is fine because you're beating the Bulldogs as far as shooting goes, but it's not great. I think they can do a little bit better, especially when you compare how they normally shoot. Normally a little bit higher than where they are now at 39.9%. Granted, this is kind of the game plan for the Cougars. They like playing a defensive game and shutting things down. So we'll see if they start to slow down their possessions, limit things on the court, and trust their defense to take care of the rest. Meanwhile, Jaden Young back on the court. Haven't seen her since she subbed out early in the second half, or early in the first half, rather. Going to give it to Missler, one of those two big scores for the Cougars. She loses it, though. It's going to go to Manis. Julia Manis. Definitely someone I could see stepping up into a large role here in the second half. It's going to head over to Jessica Early, who finds Solorio. Kayla Taylor in the paint, in the bucket. Count it for two. Makes it a one-point game. Bulldogs only trail by one, 34-35, the current score. Across the line comes Julia Carney. Excuse me, that's not Carney, that's Stanko. Stanko over to Missler. Missler, a threat to fire it from anywhere on the court, so her defender right there. J.C. Bain's got to do a good job staying with her. And it's a good pass as the screen happened and Kayla Taylor had a heads-up play. Stanko gets the shot off from distance, and it's off the rim. Jane Young has it. Feeds it into Abel. Abel barely gets it over to her target, who was Missler. Missler fires a long two. Off the rim. This into the hands of Solorio, who's going to toss it off to J.C. Bain. The Bulldogs setting up their front court. Two on either side, and it goes to Manis. Manis down to Solorio. Solorio to Bain. Bain fires from distance off the front of the rim. Got a rebound by Kayla Taylor, put back up, caught by Taylor. Then she loses it to Abel. Haley Abel averages about 13 rebounds per game, so no surprise to see her in the mix there. Really someone that is key to this Cougars team. I mean, when your entire game plan is limiting possessions, someone that can get you more, very valuable. She gets her own rebound there, puts it up and grabs her own rebound again, and it's Kayla Taylor that gets that one. She's on, gets it over to J.C. Bain. Bain drives the lane, gets it in. 2 more points and the lead for the Bulldogs, 36-35 with 7:50 left in the game. Stanko crosses half court, starts directing traffic immediately. Tries to use that screen from Jane Young. Young still screening, this time accidentally. It's Julia Carney up at the top of the wing. Forces it down to Young. I think this is where Coach Norelli wanted the ball to go. They were trying to force it to the other side. A lot of pressure on one side, trying to keep the ball out of the hands of Missler and Carney. This one put up by Stanko and off the rim. It's not a matter of just shutting down and making sure no one shoots. The basketball defense in Norelli's eyes, make sure who gets it. Long 2 scored by Manis as they build on that lead. Now a 3-point lead. Going to be a full timeout by the Cougars. We're going to take a quick moment and thank our corporate sponsors before taking that timeout ourselves. Community Bank of Santa Maria, home of Santa Maria style banking. Thank you for making athletics at Hancock College possible. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Bulldog Basketball and Athletics.HancockCollege.edu. Right now, the Bulldogs lead by 3, but it's a fresh lead. They went into halftime down by 3, had a quick stretch of about 5 points to really take control of this game early in the third. Now on the inbound is Jaden Young. Young saw limited minutes in the first half, but she's going to find Missler on an open lane. Missler drives on Kayla Taylor. Taylor makes the block, and it's going to be J.C. Bain getting the rebound. That's as good as that could have gone for the Bulldogs, and there goes Solorio with a quick chance to get another couple. But rebound goes to the Cougars. So taking their time coming back are the Cuesta Cougars. This will be Stanko getting it over to Julia Carney. Carney at the top of the key finds Jaden Young. Jaden Young feeds it down to Stanko. Stanko from just outside the key. She's going to get this one to sit. It's going to be a 1-point difference now. Is J.C. Bain going to get the ball from Julia Manis. Bain to Manis. Manis looks at the hoop and just dishes it off to Solorio. Now it's Jessica Early. Early had her nose hit early in this game. Had to go get checked out. She's been in and out of the lineup ever since. J.C. Bain loses control of this one, and it's going to be Missler taking it across center court with some pace. She's going to try and drive and going to get turned away at the last second, but reaches it back out, finds Carney, and it's going to go to Stanko, and Stanko also going to try and drive on Manis, and this one's off the rim. Didn't have anything to really go off of there and took a long 2, and I'm not sure that is the best option there. It's going to be J.C. Bain, the top of the zone. Gets it to Manis. Manis finds her way to the post, gets one up on an awkward layup caused by a foul. This is going to be Haley Abel, most likely. And indeed it is. Haley Abel. And that's her third. It's only the third quarter, and you're early in the third. So, yeah, she's coming on out. Meadow Ingle, who's been fantastic in her own right, but Abel's been having issues staying out of foul trouble all season, and it's creeping up here. So Julia Manis going to be on the free throw line. She shoots over 70% now. If I had to look up the stats on her season stats now, She's been making him sink today. First one's good. Second one off the rim. Kayla Taylor's got a swipe at it, and she's going to keep possession because Jane Young tried to come over the top of her, and that's going to cause it to go out off the Cougars. So Hancock keeping possession here with a 2-point lead. Looking to make it a multiple possession game. She finds Manis driving the lane. Manis ends up being repelled by Stanko, but possession remains with the Bulldogs. JC Bain has it now. Bain tries to dish it between the legs. Nothing there for Taylor. Taylor goes up on the second chance, and then that one doesn't fall either. Jane Young with the rebound. Going the other way is Stanko. Stanko with a simple dish off to Carney. Carney off the rim, though. And it's going to be Kayla Taylor with a chance. Julia Manis takes another chance, and, well, took a chance on the line and fell on out. That's going to be Cuesta ball as she lost control and it went out of bounds. Easy dish into Engel, and Meadow Engel is going to make that one sit. And it looks like Julia Manis is going to end up with the foul. Never mind, there was a 1 next to that 3. It's going to be on Kayla Taylor, her third personal. So Kayla Taylor also in foul trouble. Meadow Engel's on the line. Meadow Engel, larger of the two Bearcats that's playing that center position between her and Haley Abel. But like I said, Abel, a rebounding fiend. And now Krista Anderson comes in for Kayla Taylor, keep her out of foul trouble. Be J.C. Bain taking it from Anderson and crossing over center court. She's going to find Jessica Early down to the corner where she's going to find Slorio. Anderson loses control. This is going to go the other way. Young dishes it back to Stanko. Stanko to Missler. Missler gonna drive, get a long layup, and that one will go. 2 points for the Cougars, and now they're firmly in the lead, 42-39. Timeout Bulldogs. This could be an errant whistle. We'll hold on a second here, because Coach Kerry Norelli looked back at his bench, said none of us called a timeout. Did any of you call a timeout? No, they're keeping the players on the floor. And no, it's just a shot clock issue from the looks of it. So, going to be a long three-point chance by Bain. It's going to go the other way. Jaden Young inbounds it. Cougars going to start to look to eat this clock. It's still early in the second half, but you look at the points allowed by Cuesta. They only allow 51.8 points a game, and a lot of that comes down to ball control and field goal defense. They really allow very few shots. And this is going to be Engel in the paint trying to make something happen, but ultimately going to go the other way. Julia Manis comes away with it. 5'7" player beat the 5'11" player. 4 inches of height difference. Didn't make a difference to Julia. This is J.C. Bain. Stops her dribble. Gets it over to Manis. Manis to Anderson. Anderson with a long three off the rim. This one's going to bounce and get stopped just short of the back line. It's going to stay in Bulldog possession. J.C. Bain looking for some help. She gets it with that screen. She's going to take a jumper by the free throw line. Bounces off the rim twice. Ends up in the hands of Solorio. Puts it back and gets fouled by Meadow Engel. Meadow Engel with a little contact, little push. And it's going to push Solorio to the line. It's like Watanabe coming in now in relief of Jaden Young. Solorio misses the first one. Shoots 54% from the line. Among some of the rougher shooters from the free throw line, but all of the Bulldog women, pretty strong free throw shooters. Not a team you want to foul. This one also will go off the iron. Merciless judge of accuracy that rim is. So it's going to be Stanko coming across the middle of the court. And Carney tried to go up with it, got caught on the arm, and this will send her to the line. Carney, definitely not someone you want at the line. They're going to say it's on the floor. So this one will be inbounded. No foul at all called on that, actually. It's a bit surprising. It's Olivia Missler from three-point range. That one's good. 45-39. Cougars lead. 3 minutes left in the third quarter. Still one frame left in this game after that, though. And Bain passes it off to Jessica Early. Early's going to find Manis, who finds Anderson. Back to Bain with a long stretch pass. Going to find Manis, though. Manis having some struggles, surrounded by a pack of Cougars. Normally a solitary animal. Cougars teaming up quite well there to find the Bulldog all alone by the free throw line. Jump ball stays with the Bulldogs. Lucked out there as Manis had a trap sprung on her with 3 different Cuesta players teaming up, trying to strip that ball away. J.C. Bain from outside the arc, going to try and dribble it in and find Solorio with fantastic positioning. Sam Watanabe can't believe it, but it's tough to defend a shot from behind someone, and she definitely got some contact there. That may have been more a foul of opportunity because she was behind Solorio, who's now at the line. She missed the last 2 she took. Let's see how she does here. That one off the rim. That makes the second one, so that makes her 1 for 4 of the last 4 she's taken. Hopefully can start trending in the right direction. And you talk about fouls, and that was really a foul of positioning. You know, if Watanabe had moved her legs, been smarter off the ball, maybe that wouldn't have happened. It's going to be a 3-pointer by Missler that's going to go off the mark. You often hear that from coaches of, hey, you know, legs feed the wolf is often what they say in hockey. You know, you got to be active to avoid taking those types of fouls. As Anderson puts this one up, it's off the front of the rim. Going to be Engel getting that rebound. Strong center play from the Cougars. It's interesting to see how the game kind of flipped between the men and women, because that's where the men for Hancock really dominated. Now on the women's side, it's the Cougars getting that paint advantage. Watanabe drives the lane, ends up getting tripped up, couldn't put it in, but it's going to get her to the line. Julia Manis is going to get her 4th personal foul, or that's 30. Calissa Solorio. So Solorio going to get subbed out for Kayla Taylor. The Bulldogs really having issues in the paint. All of their paint players in foul trouble, but with the Engel and Abel duo down there, they need to find some way to make something happen. As Watanabe makes the first one go in. Engel switching over to match up against Kayla Taylor. Taylor getting deep into her stance. This is going to be a battle on that far side of the key. And indeed it is, but it doesn't matter. Ball goes in anyway for Watanabe. Lompoc versus Paso. Something you don't see that often as far as, you know, high school action goes, but we'll be seeing it here in the key for the rest of the game, I'd imagine. Taylor versus Engel or Abel. Both Bearcats. And no shot despite a beautiful 3. They're going to call Krista Anderson for a foul and take that beautiful 3-pointer by J.C. Bain off the board. Never even went up on the board, but if it did, have to get the ladder out. In the meantime, Stanko looking to dribble in and find an open lane. She hasn't been firing it much tonight, but she's definitely had a lot of help getting that ball out to Missler and Carney, the leading scorers for the Cougars so far. She'll put one up herself, and maybe that's why she doesn't shoot a lot. Misses the rim altogether. Kayla Taylor pulling up that rebound, though. J.C. Bain trying to find some room by the elbow, but Missler with some strong defense. She's going to find Julia Manis. Manis has a chance, doesn't have the pace, though, and ends up being pushed out. Jessica Early from distance, going to be rebounded by Julia Carney. Dish back out to Stanko. Stanko going to find Watanabe, who finds Engel. Meadow Engel off the rim and in. One of those rare players that averages more rebounds per game than points, but making the points happen here. And foul going to be on Meadow Engel as we get a sub here. Re-entering the game, Mackenzie Emmons, Fortuna High School grad. J.C. Bain with the inbound. Player on each corner of the key. It's going to go right to Jessica Early. Early to Manis. Back to Early. Early, or Bain rather. Bain around the arc to Chris Anderson, who puts it up off the rim. Can't get into possession of Julia Manis. She ends up just handling it to Meadow Ingle. And Ingle is going to get things going for the Cougars the other way. Going to be Emmons. Emmons to Ingle. Ingle driving the post. Turns again. Puts it up off the board. Gets her own rebound. Fires it again, and this one's going to go the other way for Julia Manis. 23 seconds left. Shot clock turned off. We're reaching the end of this third quarter. 49-40, Cougars lead. Jessica Early passes over to Manis. Over to Kayla Taylor. This time, J.C. Bain, 6 seconds left. She's going to try and time this correctly. Tries to get up with the layup, falls down. Going to be Bulldog ball, but only 1.7 seconds left. Is there any magic left in that magic juice to make something big happen here? And indeed, Bain alone in the corner, off the rim. Unfortunately, couldn't make that one. That got taken off. Count now. And that's going to be a big difference. Cougars take control in the third quarter. Now lead 49-40 as we head into the final frame. You're watching Bulldog basketball and athletics on HancockCollege.edu. Welcome back to athletics on athletics.hancockcollege.edu. You're watching Bulldog basketball. I'm Stephen Hodges. You're just joining us. The Cougars have been controlling the ball very well, getting up some nice shots, and ultimately their ability to get those clean shots away has been the difference. They lead by 9 with 10 minutes to go. As Watanabe is going to be passing it in to Emmons. Mackenzie Emmons looking for a lane. Julia Manis repelling her, and it's going to be over to Julia Carney. In the post, that was Meadow Ingle. Couldn't get it to fall. Ball went to Jessica Early, and Bulldogs are going to lead the other way. They've got to start making something happen fast here. Pace has never been the strong suit of a Carrie Norelli team that I have seen. So it's going to be a matter of making the most of the opportunities they get, including that one. Kayla Taylor making it sink right next to the key. Really the only player I can remember that really pushed pace for Norelli. In my experience with the Bulldogs, this one's off the rim for Meadow Ingle. Sandra Ramirez, and that's going back quite some time, near when Coach Norelli first came here and put on the blue. Different color blue than his Morro Bay blue. Julia Manis tries to lay that one up, and that one's just short of the rim, but is going to draw a foul. This is going to be on 23. Meadow Ingle, her third foul. So both the centers for Cuesta getting into that territory where, you know, one of them could get disqualified. So Julia Manis makes the first one. And Meadow Ingle, once again, lining up against Kayla Taylor. This might be my favorite thing to watch on the free throw line. As Julia Manis, again, taking away the entertainment of the rebound fight just by making it. All it takes, make it go through the hoop, and it's going to be Krista Anderson with a quick steal. Goes the other way with the post shot, and that one misses the rim, but it's held in by Julia Manis. Quick change of possession and heads-up play by Krista Anderson. Taylor knocks it out, but Julia Manis not able to get the shot to sink, and that is a rebound by Sam Watanabe. Ball's handled out by Emmons. Ball goes up for Carney, but gonna be fouled on the way up. This could be against Julia Manis, and that could be some problems. And that is on Julia Manis, her third. I thought she was at 4, so lucky to be still in this game if you are by my count. It's Going to send Carney to the line to shoot 2. First one's good. Julia Carney, like I said earlier, not someone you want to send on the line. She makes well over 65% of her free throws. And this one goes off the rim into the hands of Julia Manis. Cougars only lead by 6 now. Timeout, Bulldogs. 30-second timeout. We're going to take a quick second to thank our sponsors, California Electric Supply. Thank you for making athletics at Hancock College possible. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Bulldog Basketball and Athletics at HancockCollege.edu. With the inbound now is Jessica Early. Over to JC Bain. Kayla Taylor from the free throw line. Off the inside of the rim, to the back of the rim, to the inside of the rim, to the rim. That is a quick little bounce around that's going to cut it down to a 4-point lead. Cougars moving quickly, trying to make something happen. It's Julia Carney. She is looking for her center. That's Meadow Ingle, but ends up catching a leg, catching something. And that's going to be Bulldog basketball. Re-entering the game, it's Haley Abel. Abel, one of the strongest rebounders in the state. Someone to keep an eye on as the Dogs moving into the key. And there she goes. She gets that steal out off the hands of Krista Anderson. Olivia Missler now with the ball, trying to make something happen. He's got Mackenzie Emmons setting up a play, and this trap is on its way, but didn't quite get there. Missler with distance. That Missler off the target. Going to be Julian Manis carrying into the offensive zone. Gets it to Jessica Early. Changing up directions. And Julian Manis, she's got room, she's got the lane, she's up. And that's another positional foul, as it was Haley Abel trying to defend from behind, and that's going to be what gets that whistle there. Caught the arm. 4th personal foul for Abel, so she's on thin ice. Krista Anderson coming out of the game, now entering Alyssa Solorio. Manis barely misses the first. Hit the back of the rim and the front before rolling out. This one will sit though. Cuts it down to a single possession game. 3 points separate these teams with 7.5 to go, as this one's going to come back the Bulldogs' way by hands of Julia Manis. Manis finds Solorio, who causes a cross court to Bain. Bain from the free throw line, in and out of the rim, and this is going to go the other way thanks to Abel with another rebound. Emmons going to find Missler. Missler from range, off the back of the net, and this is going to go the way of Jessica Early. Early with a rebound far away from the net. Not typically where you go if you want that rebound. Bain going to find Kayla Taylor at the elbow. Taylor up, off the rim. Rebounded. That one's going to go in. Solorio with an extra 2, brings it within a point. Bulldogs have never been out of this game, but they have never led by a double-digit margin. They've had small leads, and this is going to be called a foul. And that's going to disqualify Solorio, her 5th personal, and that's going to bring in a new Bulldog. Solorio had a short burst here in the 4th quarter. Looks like Carrie Norelli's asking, "What? Can't you just stay out there? I don't got that many girls on the bench." And the answer is no, you got to sub. It's the rules. When you get disqualified, it'll happen. On comes Krista Anderson. So only one eligible player remains on the bench for the Bulldogs. That's going to be something it's a common theme for the Bulldogs. How do they deal with fatigue with one sub on the bench? Something that's gone back last year, year before. You got to cycle that player in at key moments. That player tonight, Palacios. Expect to see her come in when someone ends up a little tired later on. This shot from a long range again by Missler. Not making this one go, though, so it's going to be in the hands of J.C. Bain. And going to go the other way, off the hands of Jessica Early. Ball bounced around off a few Cougars, few Bulldogs, but no possession held. So it's going to go the Cougars' way. Abel keeps it from going out of bounds. Finds Watanabe. Watanabe from three. Going to open this game wide open for the Cougars. 4-point lead now. Went from a one-possession, one-point game where any basket would count. Now, going to be at least 2 possessions, and this is going to get Julia Carney in trouble. Caught the hand, and this is going to be her 3rd personal foul. Not a player that typically is in foul trouble. She's up at 3 now. Definitely playing with a chip on her shoulder in this rivalry game. Julia Carney, a San Luis Obispo native, has a good idea of what the rivalry between Santa Maria and SLO is like. As this is going to be picked off by Watanabe. Watanabe 2-on-1 though. Going to end up just setting up in the zone, but Missler has a chance here, has a look, has a foul. Going to be a block on Jessica Early. Hancock getting in trouble with a few different players in foul territory. Look at the Bulldogs right now. Jessica Early has 4 fouls. Kayla Taylor has 3, and Julia Mansis has 3. So, or Manis has 3 rather. So, could be in a bit of trouble in that regard. This shot by Carney goes off the rim and into Bulldog possession. 5 minutes left, and the ball in J.C. Bain's hands. Jessica Early looking for some help. She's going to find it with Julia Manis. Manis conducting an orchestra, but ended up getting it back to Bain. Bain finds Taylor. It's off the rim, and she draws the foul. This is going to be on Haley Abel, if I had to guess how fast she's going back to the bench. And that's it. She's been disqualified. 5th time this season she's been disqualified. 2nd time in conference play. What? Not going to say you can set your clock to it, but maybe your calendar, as it happens with a certain frequency. You talk about being disqualified 5 times within half the season. That's quite frequent, and it's not a knock on her play. It's just she plays a very physical position. It's going to bring Meadow Ingle back into the game. Meadow Ingle is not in a much better situation. Currently, Meadow Ingle sitting on 3 personal fouls herself with 5 minutes left in the game. That's some thin ice in the paint. Kayla Taylor's on the line to shoot 2. Makes the first. Count the second as well. Brings it back to a 2-point game for the Bulldogs. 53-51. Cougars lead. Under 5 to go now. Watanabe dishes it back out to Stanko. Stanko to Missler. Missler with another long-range shot. This one goes. 5-point lead for the Cougars. Kayla Taylor inbounds it to Bain. This one has been back and forth. Unlike the men's game, this has been anyone's game from start to finish. We're in for a good one here. It's Krista Anderson. Off the wing. Going to get it out to Jessica Early. Now to J.C. Bain. Down to Kayla Taylor, who's by the key. She's going to drive in. Get a shot off the rim. Get her own rebound. Put it back. Count it. Kayla Taylor getting them back into a 1-score game. And it's going to be Stanko. Stanko to Ingle. Ingle, the only center in the game now that Abel has been fouled out. Stanko taking her time with it. Getting the instruction from not Rusty Blair, but Casey Blair as to what to do. It's going to be Carney. Name well known around these midst. Sinking that basket. Kayla Taylor kicks out to Krista Anderson with a long 3-point attempt off the rim and into the possession of Stanko. Cougars are going to take it the other way. Does anybody have nails in their pocket is the question for the Cougars. They're looking to shut this one. Stanko looking for some help. She's got 2x2 along the baseline. Going to end up getting it to Missler in the corner. Missler to the top of the arc. She's going to find Engel. Engel out to Watanabe. Back to Engel. She's going to try and post up. No room. Kicks it back out to Watanabe, but into the hands of Cuesta Anderson. An unlikely hero here in this game. She could be the one that ends up turning this one around. That's going to be Bain. Kicking it to Manis. Goes back up with it and ends up drawing a foul. This could be on Engel, which would be pivotal. It'll put her at 4. And it's not on Engel, it's on Stanko, but she's also at 4 now. So we're looking at possible multiple disqualifications as Bain makes the first one drop. 58-54 now for the Cougars. Makes the second one drop. Timeout, full timeout. And a quick moment to thank our sponsors, then take it with them. Community Bank of Santa Maria, home of Santa Maria style banking. Thank you for making athletics at Hancock College possible, as well as Oxford Suites. With locations in 4 different states, try and make Oxford Suites the home for your next stay. You're listening to Bulldog Basketball on athletics.hancockcollege.edu. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Bulldog Basketball on athletics.hancockcollege.edu. Right now, you want to talk about a duel. Olivia Missler has 20 points. JC Bain has 19. So you want to go between which team, who's looking for a hero. It's going to be likely Olivia Missler or JC Bain. Between those two players, whoever ends up scoring more is likely going to be the one on the winning team. So it's going to go into Meadow Engel. Engel over to Stanko. Stanko finds some room to drive the key. Gets it to Watanabe, who loses control. As she got a chance to inbound it, she steps out of bounds. It's going to be Bulldog ball. Jessica Early inbounding it to JC Bain. Bain passes it to Anderson, to Taylor, who gets it to sink. 1 point game, 2:24 left. Wake your relatives. This is not a finish you want to miss. Meadow Engel gives it over to Stanko, gives it to Missler. Missler sinks the 3, gives her 23 points in this game. What a game for Olivia Missler. Kayla Taylor gets it to Manis. JC Bain. Bain with a chance to drive the key. She gets it up off the glass. No rebound for the Bulldogs. It's going the other way. Missler has it in her hands. Cuesta's men's team's here, cheering them on. Fired by Carney. Rebound by Taylor. Kayla Taylor gets it to Bain. Bulldog possession down by 4. Bain looking for some help. They're going to set up with Taylor in the paint. Taylor goes up with it. Ball's off the hands of Meadow Engel, who had the block there. Offensive team rebound. It's going to be Jessica Early setting up on the baseline. Early finds Bain. Bain looks to pull up, but immediately guarded by Stanko, and she's going to draw the foul. Stanko looking for a seat. She's going to be taken for the rest of the night. That's a disqualification. 5 fouls. Second player on the Cuesta bench that will not be coming back up. She gets to join Haley Abel in that regard. Third player in the game as Solorio for the Bulldogs also fouled out. A lot of seats being filled tonight by players not re-entering. JC Bain on the line to shoot 2. She's been great tonight from the line. So far, 9 for 11, looking to build on that. We talked about Missler versus Bain. This is going to be another scene in that whole movie. First one's good. Now to 10-12. Second one's also good. 11 of 13. She walked on the line with 19 points, walking away with 21. Missler now double teamed. Krista Anderson and Julia Manis. She's going to lose it, at least momentarily. Foot on the line, Watanabe, that was Meadowingle. On the line, going to be Bulldog possession. The trap sprung, it didn't work the way it was intended, but it still worked. JC Bain with it now. She's going to find Kayla Taylor, who bounces it right back to her for three. Yes! JC Bain from distance, and the Bulldogs have a lead for the first time in the fourth quarter. Off the hands of Watanabe. The ball will stay in the possession of the Cougars. 1 point difference, minute 5 left. Missler going to be on the baseline to inbound it. Players on the corners for Cuesta. Watanabe bounces to the corner. She puts it up for three. Off the rim and out. Jessica Early with the rebound. JC Bain with the ball in her hands. If you're the Bulldogs, this is exactly what you wanted to hear. JC Bain with the ball in her hands with less than a minute to go and a 1 point lead. Now it's the Bulldogs looking for those nails. Krista Anderson to Julia Manis. Back to JC Bain. Clock running down on the shot clock. She's only got 3. She's got to get it up. Ball's up off the rim. Reset the shot clock, but the ball's in Kearney's hands. We got a whistle. Timeout, Cuesta. One of the underlying stories of this has been the timeout differential. Bulldogs have burned through it here in the fourth quarter, and now it's even. 2 timeouts apiece. So we'll take this full timeout with them. Home Motors Chevrolet, thank you for making scenes like this possible. We'll be right back. You're watching Bulldog Basketball on athletics.hancockcollege.edu. .30 seconds left, exactly. JC Bain, 24 points. Olivia Missler, 23. Either team looking, whoever wins that point battle, probably going to be the one on the winning side. Cougars lined up along the volleyball lines. With the inbound, it's Watanabe. Finds Missler. Missler has the chance for the dagger. She drives the free throw line, past the elbow, into the alleyway, but it's Kayla Taylor who comes up with it. JC Bain has it, and that's a hard foul by Watanabe. And there's some discussions happening there. That wasn't just the grab you have at the end of the game when you're trying to save possessions. She took JC Bain to the ground. Now, there's going to be a timeout on the floor there. I believe there is a timeout being called while the possession was in the hands of JC Bain before being taken to the ground by Watanabe. So, we'll take a timeout with them once again. Oxford Sweets, thank you for sponsoring our game. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Bulldog Basketball on athletics.hancockcollege.edu. Re-entering the game for the Cougars, Jaden Young. 1 timeout aside, possession Bulldogs. Jessica Early has the inbound for the Dogs. This rivalry matchup that could determine playoff seeding or even conference championship, depending on how things go. Both teams have 3 losses in conference, so this is a very important game between the two teams. JC Bain has the ball and gets fouled by the player that has fouls to give, Jaden Young. He's going to send J.C. Bain to the line. The Bulldogs are in the bonus. Only one type of bonus in women's basketball. Full bonus, so it'll be a 2-point free throw attempt. J.C. Bain's only missed 2 in this game. Make it 12 of 14. Keep it moving. They're moving back, moving the players back to get into defensive posture. This is J.C. Bain on the line to shoot her second. Yes. And there's going to be a timeout by the Cougars. J.C. Bain, 24 points. Now going to be 26 points as it fully updates. Now going to be 13 of 15 from the free throw line. The Cougars are learning a tough lesson. Do not foul J.C. Bain when the game is on the line. 64-61. They have to make a three-pointer to tie this one up with 16 seconds left. If the Bulldogs get the ball back, likely looking at a situation where they're going to try and milk this as much as possible, force a foul, get that ball into J.C. Bain's hands, pretty good chance it's going to end up giving you more points, and that will put the icing on the cake. So Cuesta coming back out on the court. They've got possession. That's their last timeout. They want to stop the clock again. They've got a foul. With the inbound, it's going to be number 13, Jane Young. They're looking for number 11 there, Missler. Missler breaks out of the formation with a clean look. It's going to be Bain on Missler. 2 queens on the court today. But it's Watanabe with the game in her hands. Passes it off to Missler. Missler drives the lane. There's going to be a foul. 5.6 seconds left, and we're going to have an inbound on the baseline. The Bulldogs had fouls to give. This is their 4th foul of the quarter, so Cuesta not in the bonus yet. Missler with the inbound. Right on that O of Bulldogs. She's going to find Jane Young. Young gets it over to Emmons. Emmons to Carney. That's zeros. Bulldogs win. What a game. Back and forth the whole way. The stout defense of the Bulldogs comes through, but I tell you what, give some credit to the role players. When you're asked to play this game and you kind of see where you are in the lineup, it's not expected for you to play the distance, but give some credit to the Krista Andersons, Calissa Solorios, Francesca Palacioses. They stepped up big in this game, even if it's not showing up clearly on the stat sheet. Yes, J.C. Bain and Julia Manis combined for the majority of points, but that is the type of performance you want to see from the Bulldogs when you're up against the wall, missing 2 of your better players, in Alex and Elijah Paquette. Both in COVID protocol, not able to be part of this game due to factors outside of their control. So, we'll walk through the stat sheet real quick. Final individual stats for the Bulldogs. J.C. Bain ends the game with 26 points, 13 of 15 from the free throw line, major part of that. 6 rebounds, 5 assists. Julia Manis, 12 points, 13 rebounds, 2 assists. Kayla Taylor, 12 points, 14 rebounds, 2 assists. Amazing stuff from those 3 players. Krista Anderson, 6 points, 5 rebounds. Calissa Solorio, 5 points, 6 rebounds. Jessica Early, 6 rebounds. I mean, fantastic work by the role players. Francesca Palacios, 2 points, 1 rebound. That's the full stat sheet for the Bulldogs. Olivia Missler, big player for the Cougars. Major part of why they led a large part of that game. 23 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. Julia Carney, 13 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. And Sam Watanabe, 10 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 assist. I tell you what, if you want to catch Bulldog action like that, there's only one place to catch it. That's Joe White Memorial Gymnasium. We'll be back here February 14th. If you want to catch us in the meantime, well, I won't be there, but you can go to Cuesta here on Wednesday. This is going to be a rematch of these 2 teams. Don't normally get that close together, but with the way the reschedules worked, that's how it's going to go this year. In 2 days, they will be playing each other once again, this time in slow. I tell you what, that was one for the ages. So once again, women are going to be playing once again on the 14th. There will be no live stream for that game. Next women's live stream is going to be on the 18th. It's going to be a double feature with L.A. Pierce come in here. I believe Ernesto will be on the call for you guys then. So from Allen Hancock College, our information is directed by Shelby Scott. Our producer today was Brian Dill. Our head honcho is Kim Ensing. Sun is set, so we're going to take it. We started here. We're going to go anywhere else because don't have to go home, but you can't stay here as they're kicking us out. On behalf of everyone at Allen Hancock College, good night.